Hello, welcome. We are here.
Welcome to Talk Comics to Me.
We are live. It is another day.
It is another day. We've lived to see another day. Thankfully, you have too. I'm Champenstein.
I am Heather Hadfield.
And we're here to, rant and talk about comic books during this just wild time.
Yes, it is quite a wild time, and if you haven't been paying attention, then I respect that. I wish I didn't have to pay attention.
Yeah, it seems like a luxury I don't have.
Yeah.
I would like to say, please, if you support Donald Trump, eat a whole bag of shit.
Mm-hmm. I would like to tell you that I ate that whole ass pizza yesterday. My stomach's been hurting ever since then. I ate an entire cheese pizza to myself yesterday. Within a 3-hour period because I was so stressed out. I couldn't stop eating pizza.
So yeah. Welcome to Talk Comics to Me. It's been a week.
Damn it, it's not even over yet.
Yeah, no, I know.
Oh, how is it not even over yet? It just feels so long. Anyway, we're here to talk about some comics, so I'll just get the ball rolling. Is that what that was? Okay, I have Thor.
I didn't read this. I just got this really cool...
Zoom in. Let's see this cover.
Zoom in. Alien cover because I love Alien. And then I also, if you have been listening or know me, I really, 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 really love Daniel Warren Johnson who did that cover. So absolutely had to get it right when I saw it.
I love the blood, I guess, ooze, gore, whatever you would call it. I love the color of it. It's just really pretty.
And I don't know, I stand by our friend's statement where he said something about Daniel Warren Johnson doing an Alien comic because that would be sick.
That would be real cool. I would read it.
Yeah.
I absolutely would read it.
Are you going to get his Beta Ray Bill comic?
I think I did.
Okay.
I think, yeah.
I just wanted to make sure.
I feel like I just combined everything that I knew about everyone in the entire world and was like, I think this is going to be good. I'll have to double check though, but I'm pretty sure I did.
You don't, I'll murder you.
Come on. This is Thor. This is issue number 11. If you haven't read the last two, I believe, previous issues, Donald Blake is basically like, you know what, I'm going to put Thor in this world where I've been stuck and I'm going to take over and I'm going to just go crazy and kill people. There's more to it than that. He doesn't just snap and go crazy. He has some terrible things happen to him, and because of that, he is getting revenge. In this issue, he has a really long conversation with Jane, because Jane obviously knows who Donald is, and that, I don't know, the whole scene of them talking was just really good because Donald is still him. He is still himself. He still has those feelings and stuff, and he goes with the intention of hurting Jane and leaves unable to hurt her because of who she is, which I just love. And then Jane kind of discovers the truth of what Donald Blake is doing, or that he's not quite himself. And I'm pretty sure him and Valkyrie are going to be fighting. And I'm pretty excited about that. As with every single issue of Thor, it was all right. I enjoyed it. I did not hate it. It just kind of was. Yeah. I am very interested in this story arc, though, just because I feel like, I don't know, the whole difference of Donald now versus who he was before is a really interesting contrast, and I just want to see how Thor gets out of this situation, and yeah, it's very fascinating to me. So that was Thor. That's all I got.
All right, so then I have the first Future State book that I actually read last week, or part of last week, which is Future State Wonder Woman. This is issue number 1. There are only going to be 2 issues of this. So
only 2?
Yeah. Yeah, all of the Future State books are 2 to 4 issues. So not super big commitments, but I really, really enjoyed this. Like I told you, it was a lot of fun. I had a few laughs. I'm really attracted to this Wonder Woman.
I am too. Mainly because they don't make it look like her.
Yeah, because it's not her. Because it's...
Well, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
every single issue of Wonder Woman, ever since they put out those movies, it's like they're supposed to look like Gal Gadot, or Gadot, however you say her name.
Yeah.
Which I don't like when they do that in comics.
Yeah.
It's very frustrating to me. Like, sometimes it makes sense, but in that case, I don't know. I have a lot of feelings about Wonder Woman, and not all of them are good, so I'm glad that you enjoyed this.
Yeah, I mean, because this is a completely different Wonder Woman, and I don't know, like, you just have to, like, I don't know. I'm not sure what your jam up with Wonder Woman is.
Oh, it's literally just that they missed out on the opportunity of a lifetime having Lucy Lawless play Wonder Woman, and instead they chose every other single person that could have possibly done it, and they're just not good. Except for the original Linda Carter. I think she did great. I just have a problem with Gal Gadot. So
I know, but I just meant, like, comic-wise.
Oh, no, it's just like in comics, like when they draw the comic character to look like the one in movies.
Yeah, I know, but then there's, like, just so many other, like, options.
I've just never been interested in Wonder Woman, really, and, like, the few, I guess, comics that have had her in it, that's, like, the main issue for me, is they make her look like Gal Gadot, so I've just never been interested. Like, I've been wanting to read that Dead Earth one, because I feel like I would actually enjoy that one, but, like, I've never actually, like, gotten to find a Wonder Woman story where when I've read it, I've been like, oh, okay, like, this is cool. I like this.
Yeah.
Because every, like, cameo that she's had in the comics that I've read, I just don't really care for her.
I suppose then we should find a Wonder Woman fan and have you read an actual Wonder Woman.
Yeah, no, because I would love that. Because overall, Wonder Woman, of course, why wouldn't I like her? But I just can't seem to find a writer that writes her in a way that I enjoy.
Yeah, I mean, and also you're, like... I also feel like you're talking about cameos more so than, like, an actual Wonder Woman.
Right, right.
So, hi, Derek, if you're still there. I don't know if you are. Okay, but I'm sorry, I just, like, that was a random tangent, but I just needed to ask that because you went on a tangent there about, like, almost hating Wonder Woman. I was like, but wait.
No, it's just because I've just never found a writer who writes her a way that I enjoy.
All right. Okay, so we'll move on.
Yes.
I mean, this was really great for a number of reasons, but also, yes, this once again is not Diana at all in any shape or form. She's in the jungle, and she's looking for a way to hell, and I don't know, it's a good little story, good little companion. I had a lot of fun.
Good.
Okay, so now that I talked about what was actually going on in that book, I will go over crossover number 3. You also read this book.
Yes.
I think the feelings stay the same over this, just kind of shrugging along and telling a story. This has a lot of cameos, though, so
yeah,
for everybody who's been looking forward to cameos, this...
From all these superheroes.
They do the crossover.
God damn it. I thought for a minute, like, I forgot what their name was, and I thought the group of superheroes were called the Crossovers, and I was like, that's not very clever.
No, because the superheroes are...
George Perez. Okay, I've heard that more than once, so I'll have to check it out. Thank you, Derek. I knew I could count on you.
I knew you'd listen to our rant and give us something good.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I guess to start with this, what were things that you did like about it? Because I always feel like my list of what I did like versus what I didn't like is always just uneven.
Yeah, because I don't know, maybe the art.
Okay, yeah, that's always on my I did like list.
I don't know, I just... Oh, God, sorry. I think this story is weak.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it just feels weak. It feels like a story that could have maybe had potential. Like, maybe. But it just like I told you earlier, it feels like it comes off too pretentious. And I feel like that's kind of something that happens with Donny Cates' work. And that's also, once again, just a personal opinion.
Mm-hmm. I kind of mentioned this earlier with the guy in it. I just feel like Donnie is trying to excuse the terrible things that this guy had done for the sake of his story, which I guess in a sense I get, but not when you're trying to turn him into a love interest.
Well, and I feel like too, if we're gonna get into that, like his or her ability to just be like, okay, get in the car, come with us, after he burnt down her entire life. I don't know about you, but if somebody burnt down my comic book shop that I work at, I would be beating the fucking shit out of them.
Yeah, I was gonna
There
say...
would be no questions asked. Like, I would be murdering that person. I would be in prison. I don't care. I'll take the body. Like, fuck it.
I resonated with that scene, or that scene resonated with me, because I also would invite him in the car, but for very different reasons. Like, you've seen Goodfellas, right? Because that would be my train of thought as well.
Yeah, it's just... I don't know.
It's just not good. And
yeah.
It's very frustrating.
And I don't know. And like I said, I feel like it might have potential, but I also feel like it's one of those things that it's too much. It's trying to do this thing, and it's also trying to do this other thing, and it's just...
It does feel kind of all over the place because there's so much going on. It's not very fluent, I guess. Fluid. God damn it. I'm having a very terrible time, like, using words today. I'm sorry.
I mean, I feel like fluent also works in this case.
Yeah. But... just doesn't really make sense.
Yeah. I don't want to sit on it too long, because otherwise we'll just go off.
Yeah, that's like we usually do.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll just keep moving on. Basically, I would give it probably a 2 out of 10.
Yeah, this would not be my favorite. I would understand why people would enjoy it, but just not my bag, baby.
Okay, Austin, we are just going to keep moving on. So this is the King in Black Return of the Valkyries. This is issue number 1. I have not been reading any of the King in Black stories at all, so I wasn't sure like how much this would have to do with the series itself. And I'm still not 100% sure, because when I had like read about it, it didn't really give any full answers, but as far as I know, so far, no. It doesn't. You don't need to know anything. But basically, there's 2 storylines going here in this one. One of them follows Jane as she is taking the Sentry, I believe is what his name is, through his own journey to Valhalla, I suppose, or his own little afterlife, whatever. And then the other one follows...
We'll make it.
They never give her name in here, so I'm not sure what to refer to her. This other one, this Valkyrie, who is very old, hundreds of years old. She's kind of dealing with her own afterlife.
Okay.
She's dead, but she doesn't really understand. So, and then they come to a head. Yeah, they come to a head, like, at the end. They meet each other, and then I believe that's, like, where the story kind of starts. I really liked it because I like this other Valkyrie. You get to see, like, pieces of her life and how she realizes, like, this isn't how it happened. This is a memory is wrong and stuff, and she kind of understands that she's dead. And, of course, Jane Foster carrying someone to their afterlife. I always enjoy those stories because...
yeah.
I don't know. It's very nice, especially because Sentry is like, you know, I told a joke to my wife one time and she laughed so hard she peed. Like, have you ever had anyone pee because you were, like, super funny? And he tells the joke and she just stares at him because it's not a funny joke. And he's like, I guess you had to be there. So I don't know. I like those kind of relationships and conversations with people. But I believe this is only going to be 4 issues, which is part of the reason why I had added it, because I was like, it's another Jason Aaron Valkyrie story. So
yeah, might as well.
Yeah, and I do enjoy it. I thought it was very, very nice. I hit my knee. But yes, that's it. Return of the Valkyries.
All right, second Future State book. I have Swamp Thing. This is issue number 1. I can't remember how many this is. I feel like there's a list in the back that tells me exactly that. If I can... 2 issues.
Dang, you're really getting them.
Yeah. So, yeah, I went for a few of them just because they were only 2 issues or 4 issues. So I was like, it's not really, not even that much.
Especially since all the other, like, DC titles by those names are, like, paused right now. So it's not like Marvel where you're just getting a million at once.
Yeah, and then it's also just like, I don't know. There's a Swamp Thing book coming out after Future State. So might as well just buy Ram V as well. Might as well just, like, get this into my system right away. And I really like this book quite a bit. it's hard to describe. Basically, the world has ended, and it has been probably caused by him. I can't quite figure that out. Or it's been caused by the humans. A little bit of both. And he has created, or tried to create life, and has created life. But he's still looking for the humans kind of, like, endlessly. And, like, his hunt for the humans might, like, betray his people. It's kind of what it feels like.
Okay. That's crazy. It's wild how they can, like, do a story in 2 issues, which I know, obviously, it can be done. There's several that I've read, but, like...
This book is fairly dense.
Yeah.
I will say that. There are parts of it that are, like... A lot. And so, like, I don't know, my take might be wrong. At parts, I felt like I was not quite understanding this. So... So... I felt like I needed to just reread it just in case I did not take out what I should have taken out of it. So that is my quick assumption off of, like, what I felt like I read. I also did read the next Batman, Derek. It was pretty good.
Yeah, I remember. Thanks for saying that, because I did ask you yesterday when he bought all this stuff. I was like, let me know how it is, because it seemed really interesting. And plus $7.99 for a Batman book seemed pretty wild. But that's good.
And there's 2 stories in there, so.
Yeah. So good. Okay,
all right. No worries, Derek, as well. We have fans. You are now a fan.
Number 2 fan, sorry.
So this is The Last Witch. This is issue number 1. This follows a girl and her brother. I won't really go into this. I'll let Heather describe it. I will just say that I had not added this to my pull because it felt too cutesy for me.
I love stories about little witches.
And so... I just ordered this first issue, but this was a lot of fun. I loved it a lot, actually. Like, a lot.
Yeah, it's about a little girl, and again, I am very upset I cannot remember what her name is. Saoirse, that's what it is. A little girl named Saoirse, who is in the woods with, I wouldn't say it's her friend, but a little boy. I'm not sure how to pronounce his name, to be honest. Padraig?
Yeah, that's better than I would do.
He's pretty much, like, teasing her because, you know, if you go too far in the woods, you'll find the witch's tower, and an old witch lives there, and all sorts of wild stuff, you know, that kids come up with when they... Oh, French dip. When they're teasing each other, she gets caught by her dad, who's like, you're not supposed to be in these woods, go home. And even though it's her birthday, she gets grounded and forced to stay inside to take care of her little brother, Brahms. But as with most kids, she says, fuck your rules, Dad, I'm gonna go outside anyway. And Brahms follows her out, and they find the witch in the woods. Maybe. They find the tower.
They find something.
Yeah, and it's like that scene in season 2 of Game of Thrones when they find the tower and Dany's, like, walking around, and then she loses her people, even though they're right in front of. Yeah. But yeah, so this is the story of Saoirse finding the woods, the witch in the woods.
Finding the woods.
But yeah, no, this was really, really, really cute. The art was...
That was great.
Yeah, the art was really, really good. And like I had said, I love a lot of kids' stories because they're just fun. They're a lot of fun.
I would say the art reminded me a lot of, like, old school Disney animation in its own way.
Oh, yeah. Yes. I mean, this is like an all ages book, obviously. And I would say that if you just like folklore, stories about mythology and stuff, that's kind of in the same vein, I guess. I honestly would just recommend it to everyone because I loved it so much. I thought it was fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, I would not recommend this to everyone. Because
I'm going to recommend it to Patrick.
I recommended it to Patrick.
I think, that's right.
He had already picked it up, but I also, like, think it's a lot of fun, and I don't think he would dislike it for any reason, shape, or form. But I would definitely not recommend this to everyone. There are definitely people I know who would not like this book at all.
I would recommend it just to be a dick.
All right, go.
It's my turn. Okay, so
all right, stop it.
I have ink blot. This is issue number 5, and I did take this off my poll, so I think this is the last one that I'm going to be getting.
Okay.
I think I did anyway.
I thought that it was like a limited series.
I thought it was too, but when I checked, it just kept going.
Oh.
So it might be limited as in like 8 issues or something like that, but the story is really cute, but it's to the point where I'm just like, every issue something happens, but it doesn't really feel like anything's happening, because it's just Kat getting into shenanigans, like just doing wild things because it can. It's every issue. Which again, it's really cute. I think it is, since it's mostly aimed towards, well, it says teens. I don't believe that for a second. I think it's younger than teens.
Okay.
Kids would be more into this, but yeah, it's just a time traveling black cat demon who's just running through different dimensions and just causing mayhem.
Yeah.
And this issue was it attaching itself to a younger boy, because the boy is like very imaginative and stuff, and so he, I don't know, builds some sort of kinship with this kid, and then brings a bunch of monsters for the kid to like get chased by. It's weird. And I think it's really cute. It's just I want more from it, and that's just all the book is.
All right. Okay. I have Dreaming Waking Hours number 6. It's a continuation of the first part of Dreaming Waking Hours. The artist did change. Nick Robles is still doing the covers. Javier Rodriguez is doing the interior art. He is the same artist who did that History of the Marvel Universe. So the artist, like, I really love his art as well. So I feel like it really, really, like, fitting perfectly with the story. So this follows the character Heather, I believe her name is. She was like the witch, I guess, or magician that they went to gain help from, to like try to get Lindy out of the dreaming with all the Shakespeare's. So this kind of follows her. You're also introduced to who Ruin is like obsessed with, which is apparently a priest.
Oh, I feel that.
At least that's what I'm taking out of it.
Okay.
And then Heather, who this is actually following when she was trying to get Lindy out of the dreaming, came across Puck. And Puck is coming back for his revenge and has sliced her with a cursed sword. Or cursed knife, sorry.
God. Okay.
And, yeah, I had a lot of fun. Still think it's great. So.
Does the story still feel the same since Nick Robles isn't on it anymore?
Yeah, no,
okay.
I think it's like, I don't know. It's hard to describe because it's also, it's comics.
Right.
So it's also easy for my brain to be like, okay, this is like a different part of the story. It's also like looking at somebody else's world.
Right.
But I think also, writing goes a long way for a story. I also really like his art quite a bit. So it's not like...
It didn't feel like a loss, necessarily.
Yeah, it didn't like distract from like, oh god, this isn't like Nick Robles' art. A little bit disappointing, of course.
Right.
Because that's like what I wanted. But, little surprises, and I'll take it.
Okay, cool. I am ordering that first trade.
Yeah, I hope you like it, because I think you'll like enjoy the whole story as a...
I bet I will, considering Nick Robles is like an incredible artist, and I do really like G. Willow Wilson too, so...
Yeah, I guess we'll see.
We'll see.
I'm gonna run to the restroom while you talk about this.
Okay. Which one?
Oh, we'll just pause. Just give it a pause.
Okay. We're gonna pause for just a minute. Champ is preoccupied at the moment, so I'm left here by myself. I don't really know what to say to fill in the gaps here, so I'm going to tell you about this show that I watched earlier. I can't remember what it's called, but it's about people who have experienced near-death experiences. And some of the stories were pretty crazy, but there was one that I watched that has been haunting me all day. About a woman who got pregnant, and she discovered that the type of pregnancy she had could potentially kill her because the placenta had fused to her uterine walls. And so she told her husband at one point, like, if I have this baby, either we're both going to die or just the baby is going, or just I'm going to die, the baby's going to live. And if that happens, there's this whole thing. So for the entire time she was pregnant, she kept having these like weird dreams where she would like die while she was giving birth. She did die while she was giving birth.
I should have just held it, I guess.
It was a really crazy story, pretty much. But, you know, near-death experiences are just, like, wild.
Okay, so I'm back. I forgot that we're talking about Buffy together.
Yes, Buffy.
So this is Buffy the Vampire Slayer. This is issue number 21. Heather took this off her pull file, and I did not. I don't know why. Mm-hmm. But I'm not mad that I didn't. I actually really enjoyed this art.
Yeah, and that issue itself was, like, pretty good, too. It gave a lot of background to Anya in this, in this version of Buffy.
Yeah.
Which Anya was always one of my favorites. So I particularly like that they kept most of her origin the same.
Yeah, that's actually the same for me. I also really like Anya, and I think that might be why I like this issue so much. But we've been talking about, like, there's been no character development, and then all of a sudden they're like, bam,
here's your character development.
Here's your character.
All in one issue.
Yeah, it's like, well, shit, okay.
Yeah, I did really like that. I don't think it enough for me to want to read the next one, because I feel like that's all that there's going to be for, like, Anya. I could be wrong. But...
Yeah, I can agree and disagree just because of the way the story is, like, seemingly going. But I really wish they had, like, put this at the beginning of, like, this whole Ring of Fire business that they've been doing, because it's just, like, it seems to have been building to this, but not in the best possible way, if that makes sense.
Yeah, because it's too drawn out.
And it's also been kind of just, like...
inconsistent.
Yeah, all over the place.
Absolutely. But yeah, this just, again, goes into Anya's kind of history, how she became the demon that she is known for, and how at one point she was a watcher for a slayer, and how she was taken off of it, and how it kind of, like...
corrupted her.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say corrupt.
Bitter. It made her bitter, which makes sense, but then because of that, there was, like, a few other things that happened that kind of spiraled because of this. So, I really enjoyed it. I'm glad that they changed the art in it, because I feel like this art makes more sense for the story. But I don't know.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that take either.
It was nice.
It was nice. It was good.
It was a good story.
Good. Yeah.
It's a nice little issue. So, I'm going to go now. This is Rat Queens. This is issue number 24. I'm almost all caught up, but I just read this one because I figured I was close enough that it wouldn't really matter. I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of confused. They all kind of they go through this weird thing, and they all end up in this, like, shadow worldness. I don't know what to call it.
Okay.
It seems like they are all tripping really hard, and they're, like, in it at the same time, so it's strange. So they're in this world, stuff keeps happening to them, but there's a big dong. They call it something. Oh, cum gutter, which I just thought was a really funny word or phrase. So they have this book that Braga keeps. She's able to read from, and each time she reads from it, it tells them something that's, like, about to happen, but in riddles. So you got, tons of dongs. There's another one.
Yeah.
But they're just, like, seeing things, and they're being, like, tricked by them because they don't know what's real and what isn't, and it's because of the drugs that they took. I'm not sure, because I just haven't really been paying attention. I'm not sure when the art had changed on this.
Yeah.
But it's kind of strange.
Yeah, I was, like, noticing that.
Yeah, it's,
I really like it, but it's hard to describe, too.
Yeah, like
I think it's because the colors are really flat, but I like it, too.
Yeah, like, because, I'm a big facial expression person, and, like, the facial expressions in here are, like, a lot of fun. I have not.
It's an honest answer.
Yes. But I love the writer on this. I have a lot of fun reading his books, which is why I continued reading it. I was about to take it, like, Rat Queens off completely, but I do enjoy his writing a lot. And I'm excited to almost be caught up because I love his arcs way more than any of the other ones that I've ever read. I feel like he does justice to the characters.
All right. I will talk about Getting It Together, issue number 4. This is the last issue.
Dang, already?
Yeah. I mean, of the story arc, it kind of depends, you know, based on trade sales. Mm-hmm. But just kind of wraps up the story of, like, everybody, and not necessarily, like, wraps it up, but wraps it up in a way where if it ends and you never see these characters again, you're just like, all right. Mm-hmm. At least they all seem to be, like, doing okay. But I wouldn't, like, mind more of this book. It was really, like I said, I just really liked the honesty of it more than anything else.
Okay. Would you, because I was thinking about reading it, would you recommend it to me knowing what I like? Like, do you think I would enjoy this?
Actually, I don't know.
Now I'm going to have to read it.
I wouldn't say, like, 100% yes. Like, I wouldn't say that. But, like, I don't know. It's hard to, like, narrow down because parts of it I like. I don't know if you would like. But I think there are parts of it, like I said, it's just, like, the realness of it. There are things where you're just, like, you feel like you're not getting inside jokes that are happening in it, which is, like, fine. But, I don't know. That's why I'm saying, like, maybe yes and no.
Okay. Like, I'll for sure like aspects of it. But
yeah.
As a whole, probably.
Yeah.
Maybe not.
Just maybe, like, midline on it.
Okay. Cool. Because that was one that I had considered adding originally, but then I was just like, I don't know about the story.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah. And I think it's one of those things, too, where it's like, it's not my favorite comic, and I wouldn't say it's, like, my least favorite comic, and I wouldn't say it's, like, midline, but I enjoyed reading it, which is why, like, I continued to do so.
Okay, interesting. Do you hope that I know you just said it doesn't matter either way, but, like...
Yeah, no, it'd be nice.
Okay.
Like, I would enjoy it. Like I said, I would enjoy it to see what they would do.
Do you have a favorite character from it?
Probably Sam, the dude she broke up with.
Like the one at the beginning?
Yeah.
Is he redhead?
I mean, I guess he seems... Yeah, he's probably redhead.
Yeah,
or,
I was
like,
trying
blonde-ish.
That was because they had those first 2 pages in previews. Yeah, okay.
Or Jack, I think, is her brother.
Okay.
So, and I really liked him quite a bit just because he was just, I don't know, you know, a lot of gay dudes like that.
Makes sense.
So, all right, are you ready?
Yes. So this is our last one. This is Eternals. This is the very first issue of this new cute little story by my fave, Kieran.
Yes.
And the team on this is just great.
I would say the team is, like, the best part.
Kieran Gillen's writing it, Asad Ribic is doing the art, and then Matt Wilson is doing the colors. So you can't go wrong with any of them. I did not know anything about the Eternals previously. I've never read anything about it. This team, I was like, all right, dude, I have to do it. So I did do a little bit of research here.
Yeah, I saw your notes. It's funny because I also don't know anything about the Eternals besides them being created by Jack Kirby, so it's funny that you took all of those notes.
Yeah, because I just wanted, like, the exact years and stuff. I was like, because I knew, like, pieces of it, like how they all died. I knew that. Yeah. But yeah.
And I would say that's the nice thing about this book is because it does actually, you don't need to take all of these notes. You can, it fills all of the pieces in for you as, like, you read along and just tells you exactly what's happening. But
right. No, that's something that I did enjoy about it as well, because before I had read it, I was thinking, like, does it reference anything from, like, previous series that I may not know? And it doesn't, which made it super, super easy for me to just, like, enjoy it without having to stop and, like, think. Like, I understood what was going on, and it was just a very solid first issue, I think. The characters, like, again, you don't need to know anything about these characters to understand who they are.
Yeah. All right, take it over, notes.
Oh, okay. So, Eternals was created by Jack Kirby in 1976. Oh, that freaked me out. There was a glare, and I was like, no, did I ruin this already? In this, they are being resurrected. they're being resurrected after all killing each other in the Jason Aaron Avengers run in 2018. If you read that, then that makes sense as to like what happened. This is them coming back after that. Icarus, who is our main blonde boy, he resurrects himself in the machine. Do they name the machine? Is there a name for it?
It just calls itself the machine.
The machine. Okay. Informs him that...
I'm sure they do somewhere. Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, maybe on that list here. I don't know. But he is informed that all the other Eternals have already resurrected. He's the last one since he was the last one to die. That's pretty much what my notes were. It's, I mean, because I didn't want to, like, spoil too much of it. But the main characters in here that you're introduced to are Icarus and Sprite, who, I don't even know how to explain Sprite, did a bad thing, and they were resurrected from a previous, it kind of reminds me of X-Men.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, they're eggs or whatever, because there's certain points of their personalities that they can be resurrected from. Derek.
Just continue.
And because of the last event that happened to Sprite, they wanted Sprite resurrected from before that, so that they didn't have any of the knowledge of like what they had done. So Sprite basically just likes to mess around with people and play games.
Yeah, as a Sprite would.
Yeah. What do you have to say?
I don't know. I just thought I really enjoyed this. Like I said, it was nice because I didn't know much going into. Didn't know anything going into it. I love Kieran. I love Asad Ribic. I love Matthew Wilson. So I added it. I first special ordered the first issue, and then I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna add this straight to my pull. And like I said, it just does a really great job of explaining what has happened to these people. I do really like that Tony Stark, like, little introduction, I guess, and like giving Sprite this like idea of what the world is. And I don't know, I just like the way it developed itself because, you know, like I said, I just don't know anything about these characters. So like now I've learned enough about these characters where I'm like, okay, I get who you kind of are. At least like from Kieran's point of view. And
they do include, I guess, a family tree of some sort. I don't know what you would call it, but it's names of, I'm guessing, characters who are going to play roles within the story.
Yeah.
So that helped me a lot because I am terrible with names. But yeah.
All right.
It introduces these characters and sets up a storyline and then ends on a cliffhanger, which is classic Kieran, but I would recommend this. I enjoyed it quite a bit.
Yeah, same. I think I don't know, I just think it's like really well-rounded and the art is so good.
Yes, that is another thing. I'm sure you've heard Champ and I talk about Asad Ribic's art before. We both love it. I love it for the facial expressions.
I love it for his like dark brooding things like this. Sorry. Or his like,
oh yeah,
or his like big boys. Like he does big boys so well. Like he just does, and yeah, like just like those tough like faces. Yeah, I think, and muscular. He's just really good at what he does. And I mean, the colors do so much for it too. Like the colors are really like oddly, I don't know, they're like really toned down from what they could be, and I think they really fit with like what's going on quite a bit.
Yeah, they're almost flat.
Yeah.
Which makes like things that are happening in the background like really exciting and cool. But yeah, overall,
and I think it makes the other like the art pop so well. Like the things that are supposed to be in the foreground is just like right there.
And I do love I guess the color scheme that changes wherever they are. Like, I don't know, it's blue in the exclusion zone, and then when you get to Olympia, it's like a, what was it, yellow?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
And New York has like yellow. A sunny shade to it too, but Olympia is like actually, sorry. Yeah, like,
I was like, that's not
straight
my
yellow.
comic, you can ruin it.
And then Titanos is like a reddish. I don't know. It's fantastic. The coloring is just really, really good. So, yes, that's it.
That's it. That's all we got. Because my X book was damaged, and I did not read Hellions.
What was your X book?
X Factor.
Oh, that's right, X Factor. Okay.
So.
And I did not read either of those. So.
And I was thinking about it, and then I completely forgot. So I read a book instead. Sorry, friends.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah, I'm almost halfway through my other book now.
Nice. I just finished a book on Celtic mythology.
Oh, nice.
Which I just randomly picked because I had a free book to read on Kindle Unlimited, so I read it and I loved it.
Well, and I'm going to tell you again, and all of our just listeners and fans, been reading the N.K. Jemisin Broken Earth Trilogy, read the 5th season, just blew through that shit. Reading the Obelisk Gate right now, blowing through that shit.
Which is a big deal if you know how Champ reads, because not that you read slow, but you take in things a lot slower.
Yeah, well,
like to enjoy it.
I also have the tendency to read. I do a lot of my reading before bed, and right now I am blessed with the ability to not be in school, so I'm not spending a lot of my free time like actually doing homework. I'm like actually reading this book, and I don't know. It says something about this book because it does just like oddly draw me in. I think about it almost all the time.
I love books like that. I like love when they do that.
I'm constantly thinking about it, and they're just like I said to you, it's just like the way she writes is just like so fluid and just so, it's almost like odd poetry in its weird science fiction way, because she uses like, and I feel like, you know, science fiction can like fail by this. She uses like a lot of like weird slang, like rust is like a term that they use a lot, and just like, you know, that sort of thing can feel like cheesy, but it just feels like part of the world so much, and maybe I've just been drawn into this world so quickly where I'm like, yeah, I'll just eat this shit up.
Okay.
Like, but I would highly recommend it to anyone. Like, 100% if you like science fiction, and it's like kind of starting to delve into fantasy at this point, but yeah, any like sort of sci-fi fantasy, it's so fucking good, dude.
N.K. Jemisin also wrote
Far Sector, which is like part of the reason I was able to find out about these books, and it's just taken me so long to read them because I'm just like been reading a lot of other things, and also I feel like it takes a long time for me to like ingest a sci-fi book, so I wasn't expecting to read it so quickly.
You know what's funny is like on Instagram I follow a lot of like book Instagram accounts because that's how I get books recommended and stuff to me, and that one's on there like all the time.
Yeah.
And I feel like it didn't start happening until you started reading it, because then I was just like, oh, I know those. I have those books.
Yeah, and like that's why I said I think you'll love them. I think there's a way that the story unfolds that's just like extremely beautiful, and I'm glad I had an outlet to talk about it because I've been thinking about it for fucking weeks, because I did start the first book at the beginning of December, end of November, like right around when school was ending, and then I just was able to get through it. So
nice. I'm gonna read that.
Yeah,
you all should read it as well.
So anyway, it's called the first book is called The 5th Season, and then it's The Obelisk Gate, and then I can't remember the last one, but the trilogy is called the Broken Earth Trilogy. So I also think you would probably like it, Derek. So anyway, we love you. Go buy comics. Go take care of yourself. Take a bath. Read a book. Have
just
sex.
chill.
I don't know. Whatever you need to
do. Use protection at least if you want. Bye.
Yeah, if you want to have kids, please do.